Welcome to the Zaxby's Coaches Show, brought to you by First Bank and by Zaxby's Friends Family Flavor, with your host, Chris Delambert.
Welcome to the Zaxby's Coaches Show, hosted here today at Crossroads Nissan in Sanford, North Carolina. I'm Chris Delambert. With me, Hector Perez. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Chris. You know what? It's been an eventful Wednesday, and you know what? I'm doing okay. It's not a bad Wednesday. You
said Wednesday and you confused me. Normally we're on Monday, and I thought maybe you were confused, but no, it is.
I was making sure that I was not confused.
Got it. So how is business at Zaxby's?
You know, it's been great. You know, we've got the holidays coming up. You know, whenever it comes to holidays, we do a lot of catering. You know, with Thanksgiving, you know, some people are like, want to throw in some Zaxby's into the, you know, Thanksgiving dinner, and we're like, hey, have at it.
So how does that work? If I'm hosting a holiday party and I want some Zaxby's out there, how do I go about making the catering job come to fruition?
So what you can do is you go online at Zaxby's.com, look for the store in your area. Hopefully it's one of our stores. And then once you pick the store, you can go from there and just go to the catering options, and then just pick your own catering option there.
Awesome. I'm excited about that.
Hey, you know what? I think I might just do a little bit of fingers, you know, just to have the family, you know, enjoy a little bit of what I have to deal with every day.
All right, very good. Now, Veterans Day is right around the corner.
Yes.
Monday, the 11th of November, it's Veterans Day, and you all have a special promotion for that day. Talk about that.
Yes, that is correct. So if you come into Zaxby's that day, if you go with your military ID and you show it to everyone, you can get a free sandwich on that day. Spouses as well.
All right.
Yeah, so we want to make sure that our veterans are, catered for.
Okay, and there's a new sandwich that I'm excited. I told you that on the way home, I'm going to get one because I haven't tried it. It's been out for a couple of weeks. The Chipotle sandwich.
Yes.
What's the exact name? Do I have the nomenclature right?
It's a Chipotle Southwest sandwich, if I'm not mistaken, but don't quote me on it.
Okay. Have you tried it?
Oh yeah, I've tried. I love it. I absolutely love it. So the jalapenos were originally supposed to be like candied jalapenos. I think they're kind of just like jalapenos straight up now, but they're super good. It's a super good sandwich. You've got some Chipotle mayo in there. It just makes a sandwich.
You're talking my language, buddy.
There you go.
You're talking my language. Go out, hit a Zaxby's anywhere where you're at, but in particular, if you're in Central North Carolina, check out Zaxby's. Anything else you'd like to touch on before we part ways?
No, other than that, come by one of our stores and, enjoy some good Zaxby's, some indescribably good food, as we like to say.
Very good. I'm Chris Delambert. This is Hector Perez. This is the Zaxby's Coaches Show, and on the other side of the break, we'll be here to start with Coach Steve Burdeau and Lee County Yellow Jackets. I'm excited. I bet you are too. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
Guys, it's back!
Inline skating.
Rock and roll hair?
Calling this thing a pound sign instead of a hashtag? No, the Zensation is back at Zaxby's.
The Zensation Salad is back, and introducing the new Zensation Filet Sandwich Meal with hand-breaded chicken, Asian slaw, wonton strips, and citrus vinaigrette, both served with an egg roll. The Zensation Salad and Filet Sandwich Meal, only at Zaxby's.
It's game day at Classic Nissan. The starting lineup. Your captains on offense, number 5, Holden Cruz. And number 10, Jasmine Dole. Your captains on defense, number 55, Wesley Tater Womack. Number 7, Steve Dandred. Whether you're a Yellow Jacket or a Cavalier, everybody gets a classic deal. For sales, service, or parts, visit us at ClassicNissanSanford.com or in person on Highway 87, right across from Walmart in Sanford.
Welcome back to the Zaxby's Coaches Show, hosted by Classic Nissan. I'm joined now by the brand new general manager, Bruce Reeves. Welcome to Sanford, Bruce.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
All right, how long have you been in the car game?
Oh man, I've been in the car business about 21 years now. Been with this group since the beginning just about, which is about 14 years, and with Mills Automotive Group, and now from corporate to the general manager of this location. Excited about the opportunity, the challenges that lies ahead, and man, I'm ready to make some things happen.
All right, so you're new to Sanford.
New to Sanford.
What's your perception of the community as a newcomer?
Oh man, I think it's a nice community. I'm from a small town myself, Lynchburg, Virginia area. So it reminds me of Lynchburg, Virginia. And also my son-in-law is from Sanford, North Carolina, so I'm familiar with it.
Well, he's got to be a pretty good guy.
He's a great guy, as a matter of fact. So I like Sanford, and all the people here so far has been great, and warm welcome for me.
All right. Now, you know, Classic Nissan, I don't know what happened here, if it's something in the water, but this is sort of the cradle of football greatness here in Lee County. You got all kinds of players, fathers that work for you here. Did you have any idea that there was such a tie-in with sports before you took this job?
No, I really didn't. No, I didn't until I got here, you know, with all the great players and the fathers here. But it shows. It shows. I can see why their kids came out to be as good as they are, because these guys here, they are top notch. They're very, very hard workers, so I can see them pouring it into their kids also. So
all right, very
no
good.
surprise there.
Christmas is coming.
Yes, it is.
Cars as gifts.
Yeah.
That's sort of the top shelf gift if you want to make somebody happy.
Yes.
If someone's in the market right now for a new car, what should they know about what Nissan's got going on right now?
Oh man, so right now we got a lot going on. We set it up already for the Black Friday sales event all month long. We got Nissan Sentras as low as $199 per month. We got Nissan Rogues as low as $299 per month. So, hey, with those low payments, you get the technology. The new Versa has a new body style on it, so you get a lot technology packages. There's so much that Nissan got going on with this technology package and adaptive cruise and man safety. It's just top shelf. They have really stepped up. Nissan has. So I'm proud to be here as a part of the Nissan team now.
All right, the most important question: if I buy a Nissan for one of my children or my spouse, and in the holiday season, just exactly how big is the bow that you'll put on the car for me?
I tell you what, you see them all over the place right there. We got one on top of that car. We got one on top of that car. It just about covers the whole roof. And for you, I'll make sure I put two on there.
All right, very good. I'll hold you to that. As always, thanks for all of the support that Classic Nissan gives to regional sports. We couldn't do any of this without you. Is there anything you'd like to add?
No, I just wish everybody a happy holidays for Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and all that stuff. And come on in and see what type of deals we can give you here, because at Classic Nissan in Sanford, we sure do would like to for you to come in so you can experience the classic difference.
All right, very good, Mr. Reeves. It was good to make your acquaintance.
Thank you so much.
We will see you soon.
Everything.
Are you going to be at the ball game Friday?
Well, I'll probably be in here. They work me some long hours, but that's okay. That's what I do. But I tell you what, I'll be watching it, and I'll have all the input and information brought back to me from the guys here.
I'm sure you'll get a play-by-play.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back with more of the Zaxby's Coaches Show after these messages.
The right tech can move you. The best tech can move the world. De-stress your drive with the all-new 2019 Nissan Altima. Impossibly smart.
Are you ready to sell your home and don't know which realtor to choose? Well, not all realtors are the same. I'm Crystal Copas, and I don't just stick a sign in the yard, throw it in the MLS, and hope to collect a commission. I provide a customized marketing plan that includes professional staging, photography, videography, and drone at no cost to you. Contact me, Crystal Copas, with RE/MAX Real Estate Service, and let's get your house sold. 919-356-5402 or visit me at crystalcopas.com.
Welcome back to the Zaxby's Coaches Show. We're on site at Classic Nissan here in Sanford, North Carolina on a beautiful Wednesday night. The weather, man, the beginning of the week, Coach, pretty nasty. I was a little worried about what we might get by Friday, but the forecast changed a little bit. What are you looking for this weekend? We'll talk about last week's game in a minute, but I gotta get ahead of myself.
Weather-wise, we're talking about the game.
Yeah, weather-wise first.
Weather-wise, it's going to be some nice football weather. That's all we know. It might be cold, it might be a little bit wet. It doesn't matter. It's going to be a Friday night. No thunderstorms, so we're going to be playing some football.
Beautiful. Let's talk first. I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to puff your chest out about this past week's win, because I've been giving you grief outside of the show that, you know, you guys are eventually going to put together 48 minutes of great football all in one package. and you got it this Friday night. You have any beef, any complaints about your team's performance in the 68-6 win against Western Harnett? Are you finally willing to say, yeah, my guys did great?
We played a really good game. We can always find some stuff we can do. We went on film and we picked some things apart to get back to the basics on some different things, but I thought we played a really good game. I was very proud of how, as we rotated guys into the second half, that we continued to execute our game plan. Those guys ended up scoring some points as well. So it's always good to see those guys that work so hard in practice get the results as well.
Football coaches are tough. You guys are tough. All right, so you guys finished up. You did it. I know that this season has come down in sort of steps as to what your goals are. And I've got to believe from the outside looking in that the Brick City Bowl, you certainly wanted to be undefeated going into this game, but was this an independent goal? We're going to win that game on the way into the playoffs and on through state, or did you just treat this as another game in terms of the big picture?
It's another game to me. I'm saying every week is the biggest week of the year. This is our game, so it's the biggest week. It's the biggest game this week.
Okay. Now, Southern Lee, your crosstown rival, you guys won 2 straight. You're looking to put a cap on 3 straight perfect regular seasons, correct?
Yeah.
All right. This Southern Lee team is going to throw a couple athletes at you that are as good as anybody you've seen this year.
Mm-hmm.
Your Achilles heel on defense has been breakdowns in coverage in the secondary. I think that any observer would agree that Elijah Fox to Noah Lockley are as dynamic and explosive as any receivers you guys have seen this year. Is there any particular concern or any particular emphasis on making sure that we don't see the same type breakdowns? Because those are 2 guys that'll take it to the house if you give them a step.
No doubt. And I think, Coach Jacobs and our defensive coaching staff has done a good job all year. We've gotten better each week. And I expect them to have a great game plan this week. It went well in practice so far. Those guys you mentioned and some others are very athletic. They've made some big plays all year, so our job is to contain them.
What do you see defensively that Southern does that gives you any concern?
I think they play very sound defense. I think that's what it starts off with. Sometimes we go against teams that can't necessarily line up to different formations. They can't line up, period. Southern's not that. They're well coached on defense. They've got some guys that run the football. Some of them are the same guys that are on offense. They're athletic in a lot of spots, and they got a couple really good D linemen.
Now, coming into this game, this is for your guys. All of these players on both schools, they played, pee-wee ball together. They know each other very well. There's a lot of interface between them. Even if you say this is just another game, can you sense that there's a little bit more anxiety associated with this game with your players?
I think we have a group that's very understand what's going on with the bigger picture and this week picture. But anytime you go, it's some family, sometimes cousins, sometimes it's you might look at them as brothers. Like you said, you played so long together. I'm sure there's a little bit more energy going around. I think, again, we've had some really good days of practice, so hopefully that continues on to Friday.
All right, so we're at the time of the year where, every week coming in that following Monday when we do the coaches show, it's either going to be real good feelings or it's going to be really bad feelings. This is the last week where you're going to play for certain the next week. You guys are looking for, with a win, you win the conference title outright. It would be almost a mathematical impossibility for you to not get a home game in the first round of the playoffs. If you were to drop the game, things change significantly, but I know you're focused on the win. What, over the course of this year, have you learned about this team that ran counter to what you thought about this team, good or bad?
I don't know if it's I think some of it showed me what I thought about them, not necessarily what I didn't think about them. When things got tough in a couple games, instead of kind of going away from what we want to do and what we're coached to do, I think we did the exact opposite. We focused in more, and we came back in a game or two that some teams had us in some situations. So I think we got a little bit more tested early on with some non-conference games, and even one of the conference games that made our boys work and made our coaches coach.
All right. Anything you'd like to add about this coming weekend?
I look forward to a great crowd. This will be my first home game for the Brick City Bowl. And I keep hearing how big of a crowd it's going to be, so I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, it'll be packed.
Yes, sir.
And it should be a great game. Again, Lee County with the win solidly puts himself in as the lone sole champ of the Tri-County 6 Conference. Southern Lee, looking to upset the apple cart and create chaos It should be a great game, great matchup, and the whole county will be focused on that. We'll be here to give you a recap on Monday, but in the meantime, we will have the broadcast. I'm excited about being at the game every year. This year, maybe a little more so than normal.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll be back on the other side to give away some hardware. You're watching the Zaxby's Coaches Show.
Guys, it's back!
Inline skating.
Rock and roll hair?
Calling this thing a pound sign instead of a hashtag? No, the sensation is back at Zaxby's.
The Zensation Salad is back, and introducing the new Zensation Filet Sandwich Meal with hand-breaded chicken, Asian slaw, wonton strips, and citrus vinaigrette, both served with an egg roll. The Zensation Salad and Filet Sandwich Meal, only at Zaxby's.
It's my favorite time of the year. Football is back. I would like to personally invite you to come down for your next new or pre-owned vehicle purchase. With one of the largest new and pre-owned inventories in the area, come see us today for discounts that the competition simply can't match or beat. If you drive in Sanford, why not buy in Sanford? Come see me, the deal maker. Come and get that big town deal with that small town feel right here at Crossroads Ford in Sanford.
Welcome back to the Zaxby's Coaches Show. I'm Chris Delambert, joined by a whole bunch of folks on set. Not the least of which is Justin Gaines from First Bank. How are you, sir?
Very well. Thanks for having us back.
As always, I keep telling you thank you, and I mean it every time. Thank you for everything that First Bank does for regional sports. High school athletics wouldn't be the same without First Bank's involvement. Anything you'd like to say about the organization?
First Bank continues to be a strong bank. We're community-oriented. We love our local sports teams, our local organizations. Love to support them and look forward to doing business with everybody in the community.
All right. Now, the important question, are you going to be able to make it to the game on Friday?
I will be there for a portion of it. Yes,
awesome.
I will. Absolutely.
It's definitely something you don't want to miss. Now, Coach, this, I believe, is the first time this year you've brought two guys that were already awarded Player of the Game trophies. So this must be quite an accomplishment. They must have been particularly impressive this past weekend.
Yeah, both of these guys are definitely two of our team captains and both senior leaders for us. So they were very deserving, probably multiple weeks to be back. But this is the first time, like you said, that we brought somebody back for a second time. So, you know, I think they do things well all the time. They just got recognized for it this week.
All right. Senior quarterback, Colin Johnson. You know, in people's eyes that aren't around the team, the assumption is always that the quarterback, particularly when it's a senior quarterback, is sort of the center of gravity, if not just for the offense, but for the entire club. How has it been to grow into that role, and what do you think you do better now than you were, say, 3 years ago?
Yeah, I definitely feel more comfortable now, like leading the team and getting everyone set and all stuff like that. But my sophomore year was the first year I started, and it was definitely different from now because it was like my first year, and I had all these guys to look up to. Now all the younger underclassmen look up to me now, so it's definitely different to set that example for all the younger kids.
So next year, obviously, Lee County's got to bring in another starting quarterback. It was a seamless transition from Jory Perkins to you. What would you give your successor as far as advice, if you could, just lay out one lesson for them coming into that role next year?
So right now we have William Patterson, who's a sophomore, and I met him last year, so we've already built a bond over 2 years. But I would just tell him to just stay comfortable and don't really worry about everyone else outside the game and just focus on what you can do.
Okay, couple of things that have changed with your game over the last 3 years. First of all, I don't think coming into this season anybody thought of you as a running threat. And we've seen time and time again you take off, and each time it happens, Nate Cochran, my color guy, and I kind of look at each other and we're like, we didn't realize he was that fast. Did you always know that you could add the legs to your repertoire?
I would say yeah, but I mean, it might come out as a little cocky, but I've always thought of myself as a dual threat kind of guy. So.
Okay, now the numbers and the winning record that you've put up as a quarterback at Lee County over the last 3 years, very impressive. I know for a fact there have been a couple colleges that you got the attention of. Where do you stand right now with the possibility of playing on Saturdays next year?
I went to a couple of colleges to visit and stuff, so right now I've already put myself out there, so I just got to wait out the process, and I feel confident I can play.
Okay, very good. And Mr. Batts, I wouldn't even know a year from now when we talk about your performance within this defense, you've been kind of like the utility knife. Done a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and done well with everything, and played on both sides of the ball. What is the thing you like to do most on the field if you're given a role in the offense or the defense?
Playing in the run game is probably my favorite thing because it allows me to help out whoever's there. So you run the ball my way, I can either take away your outside and force you into my friends, into my defensive end, or into one of my fellow linebackers, or I can take over and take you down myself. That's one of the best things about playing linebacker.
All right, very good. Now, you know a lot of guys over across town at Southern Lee that you're going to face on Friday. Are there any of those folks that you have a special relationship with that you're going to be paying special attention to, or that you'll talk with before or after the game?
To know is basically like a brother to me. During the game, we ain't gonna say too much.
I can understand that. So I asked Coach earlier, and he kind of gave me the football coach answer that I expected. He does that to me on occasion. Coming into this season, was this a game that you circled on your calendar, or is this just another week for you?
No, it's another game. It leads to what happens week after this. It's just something that we do. Our focus isn't really on who we're playing, whether or not it's a rivalry or not. It's more or less we just want to get this ring and do the best we can for the team.
All right, undefeated up to this point. You guys are getting state-level attention. There's a lot of expectations locally. Up to this point in the season, I know it's a little early to reflect because you're looking forward. Next week is the most important game, all of those cliches. But is there anything that stands out for you as a particularly pivotal moment this season, either one of you guys, where maybe the season was in the balance, or you think you crossed and got to the next level to get to where you're at now?
I think the biggest game of the season that we've had was honestly up against Anson. That was the most dangerous game that we've ever had to play in.
I would say that because we were down and we could prove that we could come back. We weren't just a team that blows out weaker teams, that we can actually play with teams that are actually decent. So yeah.
Now, I talked to Coach during that weekend when the game was broken in half. One of my co-hosts on radio talked to Andre Jacobs, your defensive coordinator, during that weekend, and both of them were like, we got this. Yeah. Was there any anxiety with you guys, or did you know when they show back up, we're going to finish this off the right way?
Friday night, after they had canceled that game and told us that we would have to postpone it, everybody in that locker room said the same thing. Monday when we finished this game, it's a whole different Lee County.
All right, very good. Guys, I ask every week when Coach brings players out here. I know the answer I'm going to get, but I need you to say it anyway. What's the goal for 2019?
Ring, man.
Ring.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Guys, at this point, Mr. Gaines would like to award you with some hardware.
All right, what's what we got first? All right, Offensive Player of the Week this week is Colin Johnson. And Defensive Player of the Week this week is Jordan Batts.
All right, guys, congratulations. And I will be on hand at Lee County in that press box calling the game. I can't wait for it. Just like the rest of the county, that's got my singular focus this week. Mr. Gaines is going to be out. Would you like to say a couple words to these young athletes?
Great season, guys. Keep it going.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Coach, anything left to add?
No. See you Friday night.
All right, very good. We'll be back with Southern Lee. You're watching the Zaxby's Coaches Show.
90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. Hi, I'm David Fashee, and we are First Bank.
Welcome back to the Zaxby's Coaches Show. Chris Delambert joined by Southern Lee Cavalier defensive coordinator Rob Patterson. Rob, how are you, sir?
Doing good, doing good.
All
big
right.
week. It's an exciting week. You know how that goes.
I'm glad that you were willing to acknowledge it's a big week. Coach Burdeau was here and he said, just another week, one more step on the way to what we're trying to do. Are you treating it the same way at Southern?
No.
Fair
It's
enough.
a big week. You know, they got friends on the other side, relatives on the other side. The communities, this is a big week for our community. It's playoff issues on both sides. I mean, there's a lot going on this week, and I think, we've acknowledged it, and, we're kind of embracing that opportunity. It's kind of fun.
Well, from a practical standpoint, too, a lot more on the line for you than your crosstown rivals. Lee County's playing for an outright championship and a certain home playoff game. To be frank, your playoff future may hang in the balance on this game. A lot of back and forth with different observers as to whether you guys will get in if you're not able to pull out a victory. I'm certain that you're only focused on what happens if you win this game. But if you guys are able to pull off the victory on Friday night, it would give you a share of the conference title.
Yes, it would.
How exciting is that?
That would be really cool. You know, we've had the last couple years, and that last game has meant conference title implications, and we get excited about that. I don't think the pressure's on us, though. I mean, you know, we're the underdog.
Yep.
I mean, we're the ones not expected to win. I mean, I don't think there's anybody outside of our program that expects something different to happen on Friday, other than us. And so I think the pressure is actually sort of on the other side. We're going to go play free and have fun and have a great football game.
Well, not only this week, but in the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've had a lot of people ask me, does Southern have a shot in this? And you said nobody outside of our program thinks we will win this thing or can win it. You certainly can win. And there's some things that, you know, you're going to have to play a clean game. You're going to have to take advantages of some prospective mismatches and get a couple breaks. But I think this has the potential to be a great football game. I'm excited about it. But before we talk any more about this coming Friday, I want to talk about last Friday.
Okay.
Because I've seen some impressive things over the years. I think what you guys put out on the field against a very, very, very underrated good Harnett Central team was among the most impressive coaching jobs I've seen. We talked last week. I talked to other folks around the program who said, no, there's not going to be a hangover. We're not going to let that Union Pines loss affect us as we move forward. But you guys came in with a tough opponent who left it all out on the field and were able to pull out an absolutely necessary victory. What does it say about your kids?
Well, it was a big game. Harnett Central is a very good football team, and they had Lee early in that game. They only lost to 3 to Union Pines. I mean, they have improved that program a great deal. They have great athletes. They do a lot of really good things. They have a dynamic quarterback who can do a lot of different things. I mean, it was a tough game for us to come into after Union Pines. And I thought we did a good job all week of kind of recognizing we had to be 1-0 at the end of that week. Every conference game is important now, and I think we recognize that. But we knew it was going to be a tough football game, and we knew they were going to give us all they had, and they did. And, I thought when it came time to make plays, we made plays, and that was important for us.
Well, you're talking about Harnett Central, and I don't want to turn this into the Harnett Central coaches show, but I think over the last couple of years, from the time this conference was conceived, there'd been a bit of cynicism with observers regionally that, well, this conference for the foreseeable future is going to be Lee County, Southern Lee, with maybe Union Pines getting serious every once in a while. I'm going to tell you that I've been so impressed over the last couple of years with the new coaching staff and what they've done with Harnett Central, and you can see the young athletes there. Harnett Central in the next couple of years is going to be a serious player in this conference, and you guys caught them in a week where they played a really, really sound football game and still were able to overcome. And that game, for folks that weren't there and didn't see the telecast, came down to literally the last play of the ball game. Mm-hmm. Talk about that goal line stand as Harnett Central got down within, inside your 5-yard line with less than a minute left.
Well, and I think what you want to do is you want to learn from every encounter you have, win or loss. And what we learned from Union Pines is we have to put our players where they're comfortable and in situations where they're comfortable, and they will play fast. So our calls right at that goal line, what we did at the end, we put our kids in a type of format, type of defense, type of alignment that we were very comfortable running. And that comfort allowed our kids to play free and made a great play on 4th down. Really great play on 3rd down, too. But
yeah.
Those last 2 plays were really solid for us, but it's because we learned from the previous week that you can do all the strategy you want. And I actually learned a little bit of this from listening to a Josh Daniel interview from the Patriots. You got to put your players in stuff they're very comfortable doing, and that leads to your success.
All right, very good. Now, with just a 10-minute bus ride over across town, talk about what the home field advantage means in this rivalry game. This is not your first Brick City Bowl.
No.
How much home field advantage is there for Lee County this weekend?
I think there's some. I mean, I think we'll have a good crowd there too. So it's not like I mean, both sides will be packed, so that makes it electric for both sides. Anytime you're at home, there's a comfort level, on just your routine and all those things. There's a little bit of a comfort there. We've beaten Lee on the road. They've beaten us at our place. So, I mean, both sides have won, going across town. So we both feel comfortable we can do that. But there's a little bit of an advantage. But I think the crowd will be outstanding on both sides. And, I mean, it's a great night for Lee County. When both the high schools in the county are essentially playing for what may lead to be the conference championship. I mean, from a community standpoint, it doesn't get any better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anything you'd like to add before we give away some hardware?
Yeah, let's bring them on.
All right, very good. I'm Chris Delambert. This is Zaxby's Coaches Show. Rob Patterson. We'll be right back with a couple of new folks on the other side of the break.
Pentair, empowering people to move water, improve water, enjoy water, so that people can live their best, healthiest lives. Lives with purpose. Lives with enjoyment. Lives that flourish. Lives with hope. Because at Pentair, we're not just about better water. We're about better life. Pentair, bringing water to life, for life.
Welcome back to the Zaxby's Coaches Show. Chris Delambert, Coach Rob Patterson, Justin Gaines is back. Just that quickly. Who do we have with us today, Coach?
Well, we're real fortunate to have two of our seniors tonight. Our offensive player of the game, Parker Oldham, and our defensive player of the game, Keyshawn Mays.
All right, Keyshawn, I've talked to you a couple of times and told you how amazing it's been to watch you transform and be adaptable. And watching you in the run game, I think I made the statement last weekend on the air that you've sort of not given your coaches a choice. You were put in the role as the starting halfback out of necessity, and now you just won't give it up. The offense runs very productively when you're in there. What has it been that's changed in your game that's got you to the level where you're performing the way you are right now?
Just being versatile and doing anything that the coaches ask of me and what my team needs for us to get a win every Friday.
All right, very good. Mr. Oldham, you're like the consensus leader of the offensive line.
Yes, sir.
What's it like to be the center of gravity for that position group? What kind of guidance and wisdom do you impart to your line mates?
Well, I feel like each of us has, our own power. We have our own strengths and weaknesses too, so we kind of build each other up as a group, and we're able to feed off each other's energy. So if one guy gets a pancake or something like that, we feed off of that, and we all just rise together as a group. So.
Okay. I've gotten different opinions from different people on set tonight. At the beginning of the season, the Brick City Bowl, is it just another weekend for you, or is it a special night?
I think it's both.
It's a little bit of both. But I think it's just another game. It's just another challenge that we have to accomplish, get over as a team's obstacle in our way of what we ultimately want to accomplish.
Okay, coming out of the Union Pines game in such an emotional game, how was it that you guys were able to get ready and get refocused and turned around and ready for Harnett Central this past weekend?
We knew we still had a shot, and we had to get the win against Harnett Central, so we all came in there Monday, was ready to work, and we were focused on Harnett Central.
As far as it applies to the playoffs this year, how does this game fit in your mindset? Is this a must-win, or is you just going to let the chips fall if things don't go well this weekend?
It's a must-win for us. We got to get this one,
all right.
in my opinion.
Parker,
it's a must-win for me, too, for us as a team. We all go out, do what we need to do, and we'll try to win.
All right, very good. Any message for the Lee County players that you're going to face this Friday?
I don't have any.
Let's make it a good one.
All right, very good. Guys, I'm excited to be out there with you Friday night. Mr. Gaines, any words for these young gentlemen?
Great season for you guys as well. I hope everybody plays well Friday night.
All right, very good. With that, we've got trophies.
This is Offensive Player of the Game.
All right, this one I'm going to say a little bit because I've had Parker since we were in the Pop Wonder days. He's been a player of mine for a long time. I never quite thought we'd get to his senior year, so it's a little bit.
Are you getting misty,
A little bit more emotional for me.
Wow.
He is a very special young man, one of the hardest working players I've ever been around. Kind of our no nonsense leader, and it's just been a pleasure. So thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Those are strong words because Coach Patterson, he doesn't throw compliments around much. Yeah. You know that, right? Okay. And with the defensive player of the game.
Congratulations.
You know, Keyshawn's special too. This is a young man that has played 4 different positions on our defense, plus what he does on offense. We require a lot of things on our defense to play any one of those 4, and the versatility of it has been amazing, and it's allowed me to do some really, really cool things on defense I couldn't do otherwise. Plus, he's just a fine young man. He's just a wonderful guy. So, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
All right, guys, any last words?
Go defense.
All right, very good. I'm Chris Delambert. This is Zaxby's Coaches Show. We'll be back to put a bow on this after these messages.
Guys, it's back!
Inline skating.
Rock and roll hair?
Calling this thing a pound sign instead of a hashtag? No, the sensation is back at Zaxby's.
The Zensation Salad is back, and introducing the new Zensation Filet Sandwich Meal with hand-breaded chicken, Asian slaw, wonton strips, and citrus vinaigrette, both served with an egg roll. The Zensation Salad and Filet Sandwich Meal, only at Zaxby's.
90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. Hi, I'm David Fichy, and we are First Bank.
This has been an amazing high school football season here in Lee County. We've been honored to be a part of it, and we'd like to thank all of our sponsors, but particularly Zaxby's and Classic Nissan, who is not only our host here, but sponsors all of the television that we do associated with regional high school football. It's a little bittersweet that getting to know both of these programs so intimately, being so close to the coaching staff and all of the players on both sides, that somebody's going to have to lose on Friday night. But we're excited to bring you the game and can't wait for what's shaking out to be a great game, and is going to send somebody home with this gigantic, oversized piece of hardware. I put my hand on it just so you know exactly how big it is. That's not an illusion. I'm excited about the ball game. If you're in and around Sanford, North Carolina on Friday night, head over to Lee County. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. We'll be there. Hope you are too. And one way or the other, we'll be back here with the winners and the losers on Monday night. This has been the Zaxby's Coaches Show. Thanks for hanging out with us. I'm Chris Delambert. Peace.
Thanks for watching the Zaxby's Coaches Show, brought to you by First Bank and by Zaxby's Friends Family Flavor with your host, Chris Delambert.